All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucking laughing at. We partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right. Welcome to the 189th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Vance McDonald episode because I didn't know who the fuck he was, but then he came on the scene strong with that stiff arm, and I just respect a good stiff arm on the field. It just makes football fun again. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have that physicality, and that was wild disrespect.
Yo, man, when Madden brought the stiff arm to like video gaming, it changed the whole shit. Like,
do you remember NFL Game Day?
Yeah.
Yo, when you would stiff arm motherfucker and then the lightning would come. That shit was dope as hell. That's what Vance McDonald did to that dude. He stiff arm and a bolt of lightning came over the stadium. And then we named an episode after him. I don't know. His middle name's Coleman. Like, I don't even know.
Coleman?
Yeah, that's what?
I don't know, man.
I don't know where
like a hardware store.
I don't know where he came. He looked like he worked at a hardware store before he got to NFL.
That makes sense.
I don't know, but shout out to you. Cheers to you, Vance, for really igniting the NFL season. I'm half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 189 episodes, man. We've been asking y'all, and we will continue to ask y'all, man. Please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review. You know what I mean? That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well, man. So please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review.
Hey, listen, you love us. You see us out in public and you tell us that you love us. Now, please, at the click of a button, tell the internet, tell the world. And as always, 188 times. This will be the 189th time that we say this. We are going to say this at least 190 times because we have another podcast scheduled today, and then I don't know what the future will hold. But in lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots of Henny. Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend, and for all of our fans for being so super supportive. We see y'all out. Y'all really be holding us down on that.
Yeah, it really do be happening, man. Like, I get handed random bottles of Henny or beer or whatever. Like,
and that's why we do this.
Yeah.
Like, why else be a comedian than to get handed random alcohol when you're in places that are making you pay for alcohol?
And it's funny because, like, it's weird. Recently, we've been like bumping into like more people that have been listening to Cass. Right. And I know y'all been listening to Cass because, like, they're like, oh, I don't have any Henny on me, but, like, you know, I'm like, well, then leave a review.
And what you could do, though, they be selling the little shots in the bottle, you know, behind the bar, wine and spirits. Grab a few because you might see us, and then you got it on deck.
There you go.
Ready.
Next time you got wine and spirits, think about us. You know what I mean? Grab a couple of them and then just, you know.
You probably listening to us in your car on your way there. Like, you might as well just grab it. And it's good to have Hennessy at all times. It's good to have craft. This is a foreign episode because we don't have anything that we got to promote. We actually are gonna.
I think I can actually kind of announce the first night. I mean, the comedy or whatever. I think this is ending. I think this is gonna be after that. So first night downtown. New Year's Eve. If you're down there and you want to. You want to laugh some comedy or some shit like that, and we'll be down there. Norlex Belma is going to be
Lex Bubble coming through,
featuring and whatnot. Been trying to get him on for quite some time now, so that'll be dope. And good comedy, New Year's Eve downtown, Byam Theater again. 3 shows. Bring your family. It's family friendly and whatnot. It's funny because like. They're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be family friendly. And I'm like, first time I did it there or whatever, I was like, I like how y'all can be. But, like, then I looked up at the ceiling and there's, like, titties on the wall. And I was like, well, I at least could talk about titties. That's an open.
Wait, I might have missed the titties because I did it and I don't remember titties being on the wall.
That was, you was the OG. You was the first at Kappa.
Yeah, I ain't get the titty. Because I looked down and I saw a little small child. The last thing I wanted to see was titties.
Yeah, you paved the way for titties. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
because of that show, because of the success you and Collier
I laid
had,
my Mac down.
Yeah, I mean, it was
and I
like
paved the way to titties.
they were
like that.
Let's put you in a room with titties. That's what they said at the end of that show. They was like, man, you guys are so good, you deserve them. So like, fuck it. I mean, so come down, buy them theater, man. First night, it's some kind of system where you pay like $20 and then you get like 3 shows, and you get to pick comedy or whatever, man. We've been doing this 3 years running, and it's been super fun and a great experience. So that's about it. Other than that, shit, we ain't got shit, man.
Nah,
December,
man,
we got families. And
well,
whatnot.
we got at some point we got to go home to our children, and I know people be wondering. Like, yes, we do have families. We don't just do this. We don't just drink all the time. But you made it. You mentioned OGs, and that'll take us right into our episode because we got the OGest of OG in here, like. Actually, he's one of the originators of the other cast because he's
Godfather
sitting down at Lava Lounge on the South Side, and he was like, "Hey, man, you want to do a podcast?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is." But that was real. Nah, I faked it like I knew what it was. It just sounded like an opportunity. I was like, "Yeah, I'll fuck with it." You know what I mean? I don't know. I thought I was gonna have to put on some basketball shorts or something, but no, we got the OG. We ain't said his name in a while. You know what I mean? The Godfather's in the building with his business partner Ashley Courts. So we got Nick Miller, Ashley Courts in the building, owners of Black Forge Coffee. Say what up to the people.
What's up?
What's up, people?
She all comfy over there.
I am.
Is that pillow always there?
Yeah, it's always there somewhere, man.
Nobody ever uses it.
Nah,
it's
she
my safe space
like
pillow.
she's home right now. She made herself.
And I like it. This
at
is
home.
this is a family episode.
This
True.
is.
This is cool. It's all fam in the building. Y'all blowing up. You know what I mean? Doing big
Thanks,
things.
man.
Got the
Good.
Godfather in the building.
I must say, Day, you're nailing that intro
I
every
mean,
time.
yeah, I'm trying, man. It's been a work in progress.
I remember when you guys brought that in, and it was like sometimes you catch it, sometimes it messed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It was funny.
We're professionals now. We've been
So
to
proud.
California.
Started with a script, you know.
Yeah, you just had the little paper in front of us and all that. We growing up a little bit. It's
Oh,
like,
you remember we had the paper?
Yeah, we used to have a little printout,
Organized and shit. Now it's just organized chaos.
Truth.
We're so proud of you guys.
Oh, we're
Thank
proud
you.
of
We're proud of y'all.
Shit,
Y'all maintain
conquering.
a brick and mortar. Like this shit we do this shit in the car.
I mean,
We
you're
got
getting
the
all
right
fucked
equipment.
up in LA, so like you're
Yeah,
way
that-
better off than we are.
Ah, man,
Well-
we just trying to get the hate mail that y'all be getting, man. Y'all out here like
You don't want it.
You don't
You don't
know.
want it. It still comes.
Oh no, I shit.
Do you want
man.
an aspiring life of depression?
This is walking. This is walking hate mail that I podcast with. What you mean? Like he told, like I got a little bit of a bad boy image. He was like, "Nah, bro, you can't have that. I'ma have that. That's who I am. This is what I do."
So y'all got for those that don't know, I guess tell us, about Black Forge, how it came to be, what you guys do with it. I mean, for the folks that have absolutely no fucking clue who you are. I don't know
It's
how
probably
they
like
work.
7 listeners. Who don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Happily.
Thank you, 7 listeners. We appreciate you.
So yeah, Black Forge Coffee House is a cafe / venue / art gallery that is located in Allentown, the small neighborhood of Pittsburgh, which is actually right up the street from the studio that we're casting in now.
right around the corner.
There's like 17 neighborhoods over here.
Yeah.
Like one street is one neighborhood. The next.
yeah, I know.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, there's Knoxville right behind us, which I think is like a block.
Yeah, and then Beltuver, and then Mount Washington, Mount Oliver, all the jazz. But yeah, we've been here for 3 years in the Allentown neighborhood, and now we're in the middle of opening up a second location right now. So it's pretty crazy watching how everything's been happening.
So like you're not just a coffee shop, like you're like a metal themed coffee shop. Is that right, or
Yep.
is it? I don't know what genre of rock.
Blasphemous coffee shop.
Yeah.
Blasphemous, like
So the location in Allentown, I like to say we're a black metal themed coffee shop.
black
Yeah.
metal thing. See, that's why I was like, yeah, I mean, something metal-y. I mean, but it's because there's like
Something metallic.
death and hard, like yeah.
Metallic.
Well, sometimes we give our employees a little too much free range with their musical choices.
Yeah.
So, we're just a metal coffee shop, actually.
Pretty
Let's
much
just,
so,
I deal
we
with
can't
that,
control
too.
what they listen to.
No, but you got to, because like in my job, I'm in a very professional 9 to 5, and I let them choose the radio station. But the other day, I'm sitting there and I happen to just listen, and they're playing Genuine Pony. I'm like, you can't be playing
Yeah, that's
Pony.
that's
No
It's a little, yeah.
Because no matter how much you edit that, he still says, if you're horny, let's do it.
That's very true.
Like, it's just
There's
not,
nothing that I want more
9 to 5
than that.
music though.
It's
Like,
not-
yeah, I mean, like,
But I was jamming. I was like, shit.
You,
all right.
you gotta you halfway through before you even realize, like, wait a second, the sun's out. What the fuck? Like, but
Who's responsible for this?
It's better than DMX Rough Riders Anthem, though. When that comes out in public, being a white guy and you just want to jam to that, you're like, there's a whole verse I don't get to sing.
Well, yeah. You just say one word to that voice. Trap what? Trap what?
I want to say you got about like 3% of DMX catalog that you could probably. But yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, I mean, it is like metal theme, and that's why like it's so cool because like you have like a lot of your collaborations, a lot of art that's on the wall, a lot of like the aesthetic, the vibe and the culture that's around or whatever. And it is it's a standout. Like, I mean, it's one of those brands, and that's what I think, like, you know, like a lot of brands, some brands are just trying to go for everybody. Everybody wants to, like, you know, just like, oh yeah, you know, everybody coming. And it's like, you guys kind of like, we're like, this is who we are, and we're going to be loudly this. And you found like a community of people to fucking support that hella, like, which is insane to see, like, the growth or whatever. Because again, within 3 years, you're now opening up your second location as a result of that. And like, and I'm so excited because, like, not only do you have that like metal theme, but you also have a very like wide variety of community folks that come in. Like, we come in and do comedy or whatever. There's a lot of different like folks that utilize your space as a result. So I guess talk about like that, how that came to be, and how that got you to where you're at.
So when we first were thinking of the idea for Black Forge, we initially, like, you can't just go all or nothing right off the bat, especially with a little bit of money that we had. So we're like, all right, we're going to be a coffee shop, and then hopefully we can host like things like board game night and have our friend Brian like come by and like spin some vinyl, just real simple shit. Right. And then bands started hitting us up. They're like, oh, we would like to play there. We're like, oh, okay, well, we're only 49 capacity, but sure, let's do that. And then all of a sudden it exploded. And now we're booking 5 days out of the week, every week. And our calendar stays very consistent from, you know, community meetings to drag queen shows to comedy to metal to indie pop punk, whatever you want to hold. Like, we do it. And that's like what we are super impressed with, is that people found hope in our brand, in our company, to be an outlet to do their art and their creations.
So when you opened, did you notice like a need for a metal venue? Like, was that always something that you were aspiring to do?
That was like the main thing. Like, we were like, you know, down the road, like maybe we can have a cool venue and like brew our own beer and like do all this crazy stuff that we want to do. Cause, you know, like when we started this, I was 24 and you were 28.
Yep.
And we were just like, all right, well, let's just do this. Like, we're young and let's try this. And if we fail, I mean, we have time and we can go work at fucking McDonald's later. Like, that's fine. But no, we didn't intend to be the company that we are right now, right off the bat. We just kind of grew into it, and it's the most fascinating thing I've ever experienced in our lives together. So.
And we also we're bad instigators of each other. So if one of us has an idea, it's just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. You know, so I'll message Ashley and be like, hey, I thought of this extremely blasphemous, offensive thing. And she's like, yeah, cool. Get it made.
Yep.
So, I mean, the shop is very much an extension of us. Like, everything that it's turned into was just Ashley and I just moving forward with any idea that we had. Mm-hmm. So if we wanted to paint something on the wall, we just did it. If we wanted to book a band, or if we wanted to be involved with something, it was just like, okay, well, make it happen, you know? And I mean, you guys both understand, like, if you want something done, you got to do it. You got to grind. You got to make it happen. And I think that's where a lot of people fail, where Ashley and I don't know how to stop working. So if there's something that we want to accomplish, we do it. And a lot of times we wind up annoying the people that we're collaborating with, because it's email after email and call and like, hey, what are we doing this? When do you want this? Can we be there? Can we do that?
Cats don't like to be herded.
Right.
So like, I mean, so how did you guys meet? And like, you know, because this is, you know, like I said, with the metal or whatever, what are some themes in metal that kind of like helped?
So
because
with coffee.
This
Yeah,
recently,
like
Satan.
Yeah, this recently came up in my Facebook thing. We've been friends for 9 years, 8 years?
Yeah.
One of those.
Oh, y'all got one of them videos?
Yeah, the
That
cute
video
little
probably
Facebook video
long as
reminding
shit.
you
Yeah.
of how important your friends are.
You ever get one of them and it'd be like 2 photos? You're like, you could have just not made
Yeah,
this
you
a
didn't
memory.
even. Yeah, you could have glossed over this. This was a random ad. Like,
But yeah, like Nick and I are both transplants. Like Nick is from Michigan. I'm from upstate New York. We both moved to Pittsburgh, not knowing each other. And just for the simple fact of like, let's get out of whatever shitty lives we have right now and go somewhere new. And that's like the beautiful thing about Pittsburgh is that we both have so many friends that are not from here and a lot of friends from Pittsburgh. But I was working at a music venue, actually right before I started working at this music venue. It was Altar Bar, rest in peace. And we went to
Altar
this.
Bar was
Rest in
dope
peace.
as shit,
Rest
though,
in
man.
peace.
Yeah, no,
Man.
Altar Bar was a dope ass fucking.
I miss working there. I mean, if for what it was garbage. Like I was embarrassed, but
I perform there, so I can't speak.
Right.
too
I just,
But it was like-
it's a church again, and I would
Yeah.
rather Altar Bar than the church.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if we be
But
in a hundred.
that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, Nick and I, we met each other at a show called Glassjaw. It's our favorite band ever, and we just kicked off a friendship ever since then. And we hung out, and you were working at Hot Rod Piercing Company at the time.
Hot rod piercing.
I don't know if I want to get pierced at a place to say hot rod.
I know that's like the hot rod.
I don't think there's a clever name for you shooting me and piercing me. Like,
It's
just
a
say
reference to cars.
Nah, just say piercing company. That's all I need to know.
Just
Like, don't try
piercing
to like
company.
piercing pagoda. That's
No. Again, conversation
If
for
you can't
another
think of
day.
nothing clever that's gonna make me okay with what's about to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I just came from hot rods. You can't even say that to like your grown friends. Like it just came from hot rods, got pierced up. They're like,
I don't know about that.
yeah, like,
But yeah, he was working there, and then I was a barista at a local coffee shop and starting my lighting career in all the music venues around Pittsburgh, and I was going to college too. And
your
then
lighting career.
so I still do it, like not often anymore because we're so busy, but I've been a lighting designer in the city for like Altar Bar, Mr. Small's, Carnegie Music Hall, a couple other places. I still tour right now with this band called the Emonite Karaoke
So when
Band.
I said like lighting, I was saying what does that,
What is it?
yeah,
So, you know, when you go to a show and all the lights are flashing,
that's you.
that's me.
That's
You
crazy.
create-
These are the things
How
that
do
you
even
don't.
envision that?
It just happens, man. You just get stoned and just let it happen.
It's fun to watch her do it. She just like hitting buttons and sliding things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that like that's my artistic side. Is like I'm a very visual person. That's why like Nick and I work so well together. He's awesome at like sitting down and getting things done and like reading through the books and doing all that.
Yeah,
And it's like you give me a hammer, and some paint, and I'm like, yep, I'm there for 20 hours. I haven't eaten yet or anything. So like that's why we work so well together. And again, just fast forward to getting to the point where it's like, you know what, fuck working for shitty people. Like let's try and do something where we can benefit what we see is lacking in this city that we're so inclined to like live in forever and like start a little life and a career here.
I will never get sick of hearing that story. Let's stop working for shitty people. And let's fucking like. fill
And
a
that's
need.
exactly what we did.
I kind of aspire to be the shitty person that people work for, but not be shitty about it. I just want people to work for me.
But that's
It's nice.
I want people to work with me. I mean, that's honestly where.
Nah,
like,
I want
yeah,
people
I
to work for me.
mean, I mean, that's, you
You can work with me if we
maybe-
get money together, but then I need some people to work for me to get me my money.
Yeah,
Yep.
Like, you
that's
gotta
why.
go out and
That's
get me
why.
my
Like, I
money.
might be a bad guy, but you're really an asshole. That's why. Like, because you would like.
If you look at our Facebook comments, I'm pretty cool.
That's because they ain't
Facebook
really
tells
listening.
all the
They ain't
truth.
paying attention.
Judging
like,
by
that ain't.
America standards, you was a son of a bitch.
They ain't paying attention to the details.
Look, man,
you
ain't
you
not-
want employees. I'm trying to like you.
Hey,
whatever,
man, that ain't mean they ain't gotta hate their jobs. It just mean motherfuckers, I sign them checks. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get to, bro. I'm trying to feed my family. God damn it. No, but look, so
damn
let's approach so the transplant thing, I find it to be interesting. Like transplants are really shaping this city's nightlife. How do you feel about that? Like you two being transplants, not being from the city, but you're so plugged in. Like there are people, they're natives of the city that don't know half of the shit or half of the people you all know. And I think
part of the
that's
conversation right out.
I mean,
That's the only native in the room.
Well, no, you're not from Pittsburgh. You're from Braddock, so you're a transplant.
We not about the. Well, you not about the. Nah, we not about the. Not here. Not from a motherfucker from Cleveland. Not you. Not in hell.
C-Town of the building represented. You know what I'm saying? Everybody listen to first of the month on the first of the month. We added that to the world. We gave y'all that. Cleveland gave y'all that. But no, I do find it interesting because the city, in my opinion, it's now retaining more of its transplants. Right? You used to come in, do your 40-degree. Leave,
right.
And if you want to do grad school here, you might stay for an extra 2.
Right.
But the whole thing was to leave, and now people are staying. And now with people staying, they got to create experiences. They come from these larger cities,
yeah, and
they feel like they know a bunch of shit. So, like a lot of people I meet, a lot of transplants, they complain about what's going on, but they don't try to affect it. Just like, well, where I'm from, we have this and we have that, and well, you here now, so you can create that. And you guys went out, and you created it. So
that's essentially what we did. I mean, Ashley worked at a venue in her hometown for a little while, and I was in a band playing in venues and stuff. So a lot of our inspiration for Black Forge comes from where we came from.
Yeah, and I with the transplant thing, I know, like, for us, it's more of that hunger. Like, you get a clean slate when you move to a city and you don't know anybody. And it's, like, the drive to be something, finally, because you don't have that weight holding you down.
Be somebody.
Yeah. But seriously, like, that's what it is. I mean, I moved here because of college, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go to art school, and I'm going to be some sort of artsy-fartsy kid, and look where the fuck I ended up. So, it's that drive of always wanting something more, because film school didn't work out for me, but I started working in venues, and I got sick of that because of the mundane, like, bullshit of, like, all right, you have to work a second job, so that means you have to get a morning job, then you load in at noon, and then you're there till 2 a.m. almost every single day. And I needed something more than that. And I needed to feel appreciated by my peers and for what I do and what my talents are. And, like, finding mutual friends that you can do shit that, like, with that, that's what builds businesses, and that's what helps that transplant community in these cities is like, okay, cool, let's try and inspire other people from the city and maybe co-work with them and be like, you have this great idea. I don't know why the fuck you weren't inspired before, but let's do this together.
And I mean, Ashley and I were lucky enough to be poised in very central, like, social jobs and social places. So she went to art school and worked at Altar Bar, and I was at Hot Rod and Lava Lounge. So we basically got grandfathered into the art community and the music community of the Pittsburgh area, and so. That helped a lot, because when it came time to open Black Forge, all of a sudden we knew everybody that knew how to do the things that we didn't. And it was just like reaching out to friends, and it was like, hey, do we know how to do this? Oh, let me introduce you to this person. They know how to do that. Or you need to talk to so-and-so, or this person's doing this. And, Ashley worked for a really great coffee shop whose owner was incredibly generous. And he was like, I'm closing down a shop. Do you guys want this counter? Do you want this fridge? Whatever. I'll sell it to you cheap. Honestly, you're helping me get this stuff out of there. We got a lot of windfalls and a lot of luck based on the friends that we made.
Do you think it's luck? Man. Is it luck though? I mean, you've been the plug since I've known you. You've had that plug like mentality, and in being the plug. I mean, while people look at you as the plug for others, obviously some of that's gonna fall for yourself.
Yeah, that's still something that, like, I think about in passing, like. Since we opened up Black Forge, Nick and I still work other jobs, and then we own and operate, and then we do all the scheduling. We do literally everything that a business owner does on top of more. And, like, I tour on the weekends, Nick still bartends, and he's out doing his thing, and we're just like, yep, no, we don't have time to think our personal lives or anything. But when that moment comes, when you think about it, like, am I lucky or do I deserve this? I don't know. I can't say that, because that's a fucked up weird question that all of us have to go through. Like, do we personally think because we haven't had moments to sit back and be like, wow, I feel really good about everything happening right now? That doesn't happen, because you have to keep going. Even, like, the moment you wake up, it's like 5 things, like, we're out of milk, and, like, somebody had diarrhea and got it on the wall, There's always something. Luckily, that has never happened at Black Forge, but it's happened at another coffee shop that I worked at, and that was the most miserable day of my life. That's another thing. Now we have employees. I don't have to touch poop.
That's it. Okay. Now, if she an asshole for that, no. All right. I want to get to a level where I am no longer the poop wipe. That's all I'm saying.
That's cool. I get you. I ain't mad at that.
And you can use your job that I give you as a stepping stone to no longer be the poop wipe, but you're going to be the poop wipe here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, so that's actually one of the best parts about being business owners and bosses is we have an opportunity to be progressive about our business ownership and the way that we run our business. So like we are trying to cultivate a family. So we make sure that we pay our employees well and we give them all the time off that they need. And every year we close down the shop at least 2 or 3 times to do something together as a company.
See, I mean, that's awesome. What I guess that's what, like, when I say, like, I guess employee versus a partnership in some way or whatever, like, I would like to have people that I pay. I mean, and like, you know, in all of the things that we do pay people, and like we, you know, and it's more or less like private contracting in a sense, like with, you know, production or whatever, like with the venues, with the artists, everything else or whatever. It's like, we're not filling out like, you know, W-9s and all this or whatever, but like, you know, we are expecting you to come up, do a job and get paid to do that. Mm-hmm. But like, it's at will. It's like, I mean, and if you say fuck off, then you fuck off. So it's more like the respect level that's there. Like when you're speaking to somebody, like, and like, there's a huge power dynamic sometimes, like I feel like at jobs where, like, you know, when I say sometimes, at most jobs where like there's a boss and there's you and it's like, I just got to do whatever the fuck you say. You could be shitty, but I can't type thing or whatever. Whereas like when I say a partnership, it's more or less like I'd respect you as somebody that, like, yeah, I mean, and this is what I'm able to offer you to do this or whatever. Would you like to do it? And having that, like you said, I mean, like, you respect them, you give them, you know, you pay them well or whatever, and like you have events or whatever because you respect them as people, and like, and you know that like they're doing that at will. At any time, they could fucking fuck off, they could fuck you over if, like, yeah, I mean, if they really wanted to like get into like the bullshit. So it's like, it's better to treat somebody as if they're more or less your equal that is helping you towards a goal than somebody that you're just paying to do a certain task.
Well, I think with the boss, so to speak, employee relationship, I think the most effective ones are where the boss, so to speak, values the employee. Like you see value in. And so in you guys' industry, that employee may become a peer. That may become somebody that you're getting money with down the road. So why would you disrespect? And we've all worked 9 to 5s, and that power dynamic, I think, is derivative of a lot of people don't like their jobs. A lot of bosses don't like their jobs. Yeah. That is the only power that they yield. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you're middle management, the only power that you yield is to be a dick to this dude because your manager is being a dick to you. So it's like, well, you know what? You can't do shit about it. I'm just going to be an asshole. And it happens. And you're in an industry, though, where it doesn't have to be that way because you all can enjoy. You can provide them with the freedom to affect their atmosphere more. So like how instrumental are your employees with just the aesthetics, who you decide to partner with, the type of events that you try to throw there? Like, do they have a say-so in that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. We give them a lot of opportunities to be creative as possible and like use the space as needed. So like Matthew, he was our second employee. He's been there for a little over a year now, and he's throwing his first hip-hop show at the shop. Uh-oh. He's really excited for it, and we started putting him on sound gigs because he wants to learn more sound, so he's baristing doing that. And, you know, like Alex, she was our first employee because, like, when we first started out, it was just Nick and I, so I, like, pretty much it was, like, I worked there in the morning, Nick worked there at night, and that's how it was for a whole year, and it was fucking stressful. But we got Alex, and she's been a game changer. She's like the manager now, and she's handling a lot of great things. And like, I can call her when I'm on the road. I'm like, Alex, this needs to be done. I forgot. And she's like, you got it done. Like anything. And we just hired our third employee, and she's newer. She's like 24, and you know, went to Kappa. Is like heavily involved in art, beautiful artist, and like, yeah, we just try to continue to give them every opportunity possible because like. Nick and I we've all been there. We've all worked shitty jobs. And like, that was a huge push for us was to do this. So we would never put anyone through what we went through, you know, try and stop that right now. So we can continue to get people excited about working jobs and working for places and not like wake up and be depressed. Like, oh, I have to go to my shitty job again. We want it to be exciting. And that's like a huge thing for the second location is like we're adding so many people that deserve so much and they want to work for us, and it's still just like, oh, I get a stomachache thinking about it. I'm like, you trust us?
Yeah.
Why?
So time out, 3 years, 0 turnover.
Yeah.
What?
It's 3 like y'all on.
Wait, I missed that part.
0 turnover.
What?
Yeah, no turn. Like nobody's like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've been in my new position less than a year. I done lost like 7 people.
Shit, I know motherfuckers that have had motherfucking.
Yeah, we've never had anybody quit. Like, we've had a couple of friends come in and like help out when they were needed, and then they went off and did their own things. Like, you know, just to help us out and give them a little extra cash. But now, like, we have 3 solid employees that are here for the long run, and then we have like another 5 that are like ready to go for the new location.
Man, I know motherfuckers that have had 3 marriages in 3 years. Like,
Damn.
What you talking about? How the
They
fuck
should
you
stop
do
getting
that?
married.
It take a year to get married.
That's something they're clearly bad at.
Well, first of all, if I get married or get divorced, that's the it for marriages with me. I'm not doing it again. I could fall in love the second time, but we're gonna have a sit down. We're gonna have a real.
I need to check your bank statements.
It's gonna be a real intense dinner about how breaking up is much more stressful when you're married. It's very hard to break up.
That's crazy. So, and again, a testament to like the support that you have in the community or whatever, like the way that you I guess you crowdfund the second, like you had the drive or whatever that went down, and like there was such a like community outpour, like it was insane. Like, I mean, you guys like knocked that shit out of the park. Like, I mean, like
I don't know how we did it.
Yeah, there's actually a story behind that. Because we crowdfunded the original location too, and I think, how much did we raise on the first one?
$8,500 in 30 days.
Yeah, so that's like just below $9,000, you know. And I think we opened up the first location with just over $30,000, which every business owner I've ever talked to kind of like looks at me like he's seen a ghost. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And it's,
don't pay yourself.
Yeah. Don't pay yourself and do everything on your own.
Yes, you can make a lot of shit happen if you don't pay yourself.
Yeah.
We've learned that.
So the second time around, when we decided that we wanted to open a second location, we kind of knew that the only way that we were ever going to be able to quit our second jobs was if we had another location to allow us to roast our own coffee and cook and bake and lower our overhead. And so we started to explore and look at buildings and stuff like that. And, you know, originally it was, let's try to find the financing so we don't have to go through what we did for the first one, because that was such a stressful year and it took such a toll on us. I mean, I probably gained a couple hundred gray hairs that year.
Same.
And this time around, you know, like that was the goal, was try to find the financing, try not
Take our
to
time.
ask for more money from people. You know, and if we did decide that we wanted to do crowdfunding, do something really cool with it, you know, like put out a bunch of limited edition merch and make a big deal out of opening the second location, something like that. And then as the ball started moving and promises started being made and commitments started being made, and then the financing wasn't there yet, it was like, okay, we got to do something. We got to figure out something.
And like in the midst of this too, like, so we're below 2 apartments. So while we were looking for a second location, right, just for like, yeah, you know, when we get to it, we'll take our time and everything's going to go great. The people upstairs moved out because they couldn't handle the noise anymore. And like, we're a residential area. So that became an issue when no one occupied that space for 8 months. And our landlords were like, hey, you got to figure this out. And we're just like, fuck, okay, like, let's figure this out. And it was just like, all right, well, here it is. We got to find the second location so we can keep this shop, make everyone happy, continue to host shows, continue to do what we do. And like, we just got to do it right now. And we had 5 days of planning the Kickstarter stuff. Then we just kind of did it. And it was just chaos from there. I don't even remember like half the stuff that happened within that month.
I mean, we had a lot of help. We had friends that understood how Kickstarter works because, you know, from our first experience, we just kind of did stuff and we were like, okay, we need to learn how to do this stuff and get better at it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had friends that did video and, you know, like, it was one of those things where it was just like, how can we be baristas, work our second job, manage a Kickstarter, and also go to all the meetings that we had to go to with the banks and with the real estate people. And we were also meeting with the CDC in McKees Rocks. And
and also trying to make our employees happy and doing their schedules and making sure that, we lost our booking agent at the time. So I was booking shows too. And it was just absolute chaos. And I'm glad we survived.
Yeah.
Made it through.
We had a lot of friends. A lot of friends came through for us. And there was a lot of emails and phone calls where we were just like, wow, like that's amazing that you want to do that for us. Like, this is incredible. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a success. You know,
Yeah.
if we didn't have so much help, it wouldn't have been a success.
Yeah, we had like 3 people volunteer to put on a benefit show for us. And like, because I worked at Mr. Small's, like it worked out where we had a benefit show there and a good amount of people showed up. And I mean, it was only like a week and a half of planning that they put into it. And we were able to raise like over $1,000 at this benefit show. And a lot of people donated like raffle baskets from local businesses here. A lot of brewers brought beer and like T-shirts, and artist friends made portraits and like all this crazy stuff. And yeah, I mean, the true end result is like the community of Pittsburgh and like the people that support us made this happen. It wasn't us. Like we were losing our minds trying to manage it all, but like it's everybody else that made it possible. And it still sits heavy in my chest. I know it does with Nick too, of like, how are we ever going to repay everybody and say thank you until like we just can't anymore?
You fucking succeed.
Right. Pay it forward.
That is there it is.
Continue.
We will
with-
try our best.
Like, yeah, because
Continue
if I
with
did
why
all
they're supporting you.
Yeah, it's like that artist that like you know what I mean, you go to the concert, you buy the CD, you're like promoting them or whatever, and then like they get hooked on crack. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're like, come on, man, all I wanted you to do was keep like doing dope shit. That's
Dude,
Yeah.
why,
have you
like,
done crack? Crack's amazing.
Crack
No,
is so
I
great.
know, I get it, but like
I'm too scared to even take a fucking Tylenol.
crack,
Like
crack took X from us, man, and I'm like, look, man, that's all. That's what we
I saw that firsthand. That shit was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, but
don't worry, guys, we will not do crack.
that's
At least not on
And-
the premise of Black Forge. It won't be on Black Forge grounds.
Exactly.
So, tell us about some of these collaborations. Right now, we're drinking this mead or whatever. So, tell us about that, because like that's again in that community atmosphere or whatever. You've come into a lot of dope collaborations and a lot of not only just events, but here we are. You know, as drinking partners, we like to drink here. Yeah, I mean, again, if anybody's listening to
Yeah,
this,
we've been
and for
drinking
some
this
reason
entire episode.
they don't know about us or whatever. This is a drinking podcast, so tell us about this mead that we're drinking right now.
Well, first of all, let me just tell you how excited I was to do this podcast because you guys gave me an excuse to get day drunk.
Yeah. Nick's
normally-
getting it today.
Normally, this is like responsibility time where I'm like, oh, I don't have to be at work. I need to get caught up on emails and all this stuff. But no, like this is work. Technically, I'm doing
Yes,
work. I'm promoting
that's
the
what
work.
we get.
We're working.
And you are only enjoying the fruits of your labor. I mean, like, because you have
Facts.
given me and Ed an excuse to get drunk like on Sundays for like what, going on 4 years now,
Yeah, going on
man.
4
Like, going on 5 years now. Shit, we like so.
Well, and that
yeah.
actually, that's a perfect segue into the mead that we're drinking. Through working with Buzzy and Epicast and working with you guys, we've met a ton of booze makers in the area. So that's brewers and mead makers. And our friend Dave, we all mutually know and hang out with.
Sean
and
Dave.
host shows. And
Dave
I gotta
brings the
come
party.
I
Yeah,
gotta
he
come up
does.
with a nickname for him. It's long.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of nicknames, but yeah.
he is an amazing human being.
Yes, he
He's
is.
one of my favorite people.
Thanks, Dave.
He kind of approached us, and and this was back in the day before we had any clue what was possible with our branding and what we did. And it was just like kind of like, hey, would you ever want to collaborate and do something? And he was like, absolutely. It wasn't even that, like, that was it. It was just like, yep, let's do it.
That's
all it takes.
Anytime I've ever been like, hey, Dave, you want to do something? He's just like, yep. Like, not even like a conversation. Let me like delve into this a little bit. Like, can I get some details? He's like, yep. Let me
Right.
know. And like, it seems too
Relationship, though.
easy. It's like, wait, what are you?
Well, that's a
yeah.
relationship. He believes in what you're doing. He knows, that it's not going to be a loss for him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something that is beneficial to both parties.
Well,
So,
and I feel like he runs in the same lane that we do. He gets stuff done. Like if he wants to do something, he works.
Yeah.
And so we were talking, and we came up with some different flavor profiles and what we wanted to go for. And he was just like, okay, cool. I need the coffee by this day. And this was before we had any idea of what we were doing. So we delivered him whole bean coffee, and we didn't understand that he was attempting to make cold brew and then adding the cold brew into the mead. So I think it was like 15 or 20 pounds or something like that of just whole bean coffee. And he was like, hey man, the flavor's not really coming through. So we put another 5 or 10 pounds of ground coffee, and he's like, all right, it's working. Well, the end product wound up being like an outrageous amount of caffeine and a ton of coffee flavor that anybody that put it on tap, it wound up staining the tap line, and you could taste it on like the next 2 beers that went on tap.
well, I mean, that's what we all aspire to do.
This
Just
is
make a stain and
That's
society.
what I've been doing. That's what I've done to women since I was born. Look, I'm gonna leave a little bit of stain, so this next dude gonna know I was here. That's all I'm trying to do.
like that's I ain't touching that shit. But
I leave my shoes at the front door. I leave them Nike slides over the weekend. Just in case that next dude come in, he know like whose size 11s is those. That's all it is.
But of the mead, I've been drinking a lot of Dave's meads or whatever, a lot of collaborations and whatnot, and but like this was and it still is my favorite Dave creation. And then like I said, I mean, the second coming in would be the strawberry balsamic, which is actually on right now. It is a seasonal, so if you're listening to this, go down and get that. And then the blueberry chai, which comes in at 12, which is dope as fuck. So I mean, but this like we had this. Was it brutal that
Brutal was Luxuria.
that was Luxuria?
The only thing we've ever had the meet at was our 1 year anniversary
Was
party.
the 1 year anniversary? Oh yeah, that's
And then a couple other like small events, and then on tap at Apis. But
so good.
I'm just always impressed when people make coffee collaborations that aren't coffee offensive. Like, because coffee for me is a very polarizing thing. Like, I only drink coffee between 9 and 10:30 Monday through Friday. I can't have it at any other time. But like with this mead, I know it's coffee inspired, but it's not like I'm drinking coffee. And I don't know what the ABV on this is. I'm always scared to ask with Dave.
It's high. It's over 20.
Yeah.
God, what?
What?
that's why I'm drinking this little.
Wait.
you gotta drink this little
I
thing.
mean, meat is high. Most meat
No,
are going to be 14 to 18%.
no. That blueberry chai is 12, and I'm
and that's
slow
high.
with that.
Like it goes from his,
I got
his
kids,
menu,
man.
His menu goes from like 8 to 14, which with the hot passion fruit.
I feel like
And
it
then he-
started at 18, but this is vintage 3 years. So.
And then it like he does that
There's a disclaimer
that
on this
cherry
bottle. You gotta
dip or
put
whatever. It's
something
like-
on the
it's like
bottle,
19.
fam.
You said that's a 20 plus.
I'm guessing at this point because, like I said, this is 3 years old at this point.
fucking
Where's
crazy,
Dave?
man.
That's fuck. You just Cosby'd us. You know that, right? You just,
They just slipped this like,
man.
I mean,
just put a fucking 20 in our glass and didn't tell us.
I had no fucking clue.
The really
high.
great thing is
can't taste
like
any of that.
with a lot of our
At all.
collaborations, we use the same coffee for each one. So anything with the cold brew collaboration, that is what is roasted by another local roaster called Zeke's. That was our first blend we ever made with somebody and collaborated on. And that's what we still use for our cold brew that's in-house now, and then for a lot of the collaborations that we do. And we're going to be starting to roast. Like, we are roasting right now our own beans, especially in the new location. We'll have our roaster up and running then. But we're still going to use like these beans and support Zeke's and continue to just make cool shit, because like with this blend that we have, it's super chocolatey, it's super smooth. And when we teamed up with Full Pint to do that, you know, you think coffee IPA, what the fuck? But it's actually really enjoyable, and I'm not a big like IPA person.
That's not the coffee IPA. That's the drinking partners.
Yeah, this is DP. We had to
That's
throw a little
Dairy
bit of
Bar.
us in there.
Oh, I thought we had the
We gotta-
Luxuria.
We'll get to the coffee IPA next after we.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. So let me ask. So with the second location, you say you're going to roast your own beans and whatnot. I'm not familiar with. So I drink coffee again, 9 to 10:30 Monday through Friday. I don't know what I'm drinking. I don't know if it's good coffee or not.
That's not a good
It's
way to
just-
start this conversation.
It's just coffee, right?
I don't know shit about.
I don't know what
coffee.
coffee is.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
You don't know where it comes from.
I don't know shit about it.
Okay.
I don't know shit about it either.
I know that coffee is technically supposed to like wake me up because it's got to have caffeine. I only drink coffee because it makes me feel important. I feel like if you're wearing a suit and you got a coffee,
You got your
You have
boss
a mug.
mug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
You got
Office
boss.
Space.
not
Like,
even just we've passed the mug. You got to have the styrofoam cup with the little the cardboard little insert so you don't burn your hand, and you sit with your leg crossed.
Yeah,
And you just
Ed's acting the
that's how,
same,
that's how you close
yeah.
deals.
Get you some recyclable paper cups.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Well, we
with
did follow these rivers, so we got a new consciousness.
no more styrofoam. But yeah, you got to
So
be
now-
progressive and important.
So now you all are graduating to you are now going to have a larger influence on the actual product. How did that play into deciding on McKee's Rock?
The neighborhood and the building. We spent a lot of time going around to all the neighborhoods of Pittsburgh and some of the surrounding neighborhoods and just kind of meeting with the people that influence the neighborhood, the neighborhood organizations and stuff like that, and just kind of finding out what was going on there. Sad to say, but there's a lot of redevelopers in most of the neighborhoods in Pittsburgh that are just buying property up and sitting on it and waiting for the neighborhood to come up, and then they're going to sell it for 3 times the amount that they bought it for.
Facts.
And we were trying to avoid going into a neighborhood that was doing that already. And McKees Rocks, when we met with the McKees Rocks CDC, they were just, like when they were talking to us, and they're like, we already bought this property, and the CDC owns it, so that way we can make sure that there's no redevelopers that can buy it and then flip it for way too much. These are the plans that we have for the park, and there's a big venue space going in down the road and all these things. And, it was like one of those things where it's like, okay, the community is very involved in what happens and how this community comes up rather than a redeveloper and money being involved. So that was like one of the main reasons why we chose that area.
Nice. So how are you going to incorporate that community? I mean, you did a great job down here, in Allentown or whatever, building a following of folks coming up and whatever, despite like all of the issues that come with, having a
fucking police officer next
door, whole ass police station next door.
I said police office. What the fuck?
A police office. I guess what do you have planned, I guess, to for the community outreach in McKees Rocks, and like how does that differ from your efforts maybe here, because it is a different community, so it would offer different challenges or whatever to kind of like activate that area.
Honestly, it's gonna be a lot of the same process as what we did here in Allentown, where we want to hire from within the neighborhood because that's just smart business owning. They're within walking distance or bike riding distance, so we don't have to worry about their car breaking down and they can't get to work.
Right, and that gives like the employees from that neighborhood more pride in their neighborhood. Maybe like they look forward to walking down the street and seeing the same people every morning or stopping at that bus stop or whatever. So it's just making more connections and being in tune with what you're doing and what you're doing as an adult and how you're impacting the people around you and your job that you're doing as well.
We like to host a lot of community events, so ideally we would continue to do that. There's any time that you're in a neighborhood that's rebuilding, that's like trying to bring businesses in and repopulate all of the abandoned houses and buildings and stuff like that. There's going to be a need for an outreach place, for a gathering place, and that's what we've always strived for. And if we team up locally with the local businesses and we collaborate and work with them and stuff like that, then we get to know them. We get to know their regulars. We get to know their customers, and they get introduced to who we are and what we do. And hopefully they become regulars. And then, that's how we wound up meeting our general contractor that's working on our building now. Is he was a regular that came in on a daily basis, and he was like, "Oh, you guys have got a new location. If you need help, let me know." And now it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's crazy because like people say that all the time, that they drop that line of, if you need anything, let me know. It's just crazy to see like that actually come to fruition.
Yeah. Anytime somebody says, if you need anything, let me know, I typically don't let them know because I just don't believe what they're saying.
We don't believe you. You need more people. So did you all get any? Because we sat with CoStar and we talked a little bit about just pushback from.
We finally got CoStar because I know. We were trying to get them in.
Well, the plug is here.
Yeah,
Well, they're regulars at Kelly's, so I would talk to them all the time.
I know. We were like, you told us about them like a while ago, and we have been trying and like because schedules and whatnot, but we finally got them in. Look, so if you listen to this, that episode actually dropped, but like it hasn't dropped yet. So I just want to thank you again because
they're
that
good
was
people.
They were fucking awesome. They made some awesome fucking brew.
Right, and so now you're moving into this new venue. I'd imagine you're going to continue with the production with the shows and whatnot. Was there any pushback with that? Did they care? Or?
No, I think the only thing so where we kind of fell a little lacking was the whole process moves so fast. Mm-hmm. So typically, we're just like, okay, we looked at this building. Okay, it looks like they want us to get it. Okay, it looks like we got the financing, but we need more money. So let's just do this Kickstarter and blah, blah, blah. So we haven't had a moment to sit down and be like, let's introduce ourselves to the neighborhood. Let's make it a thing before we start posting a bunch of stuff like, hey, we should talk. But yeah, it just kind of happened. So a little bit, I mean, it was a lot more support than not. A little bit was like, oh, they're opening up this venue and it's going to be really loud and they're saying shit about loud music and blah, 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 blah. And that kind of was like the only negative kind of response we got back from some of the community people. They're just like concerned that we're going to be some nuisance bar coffee shop thing.
I don't like. It's a coffee shop.
A nuisance coffee shop.
But you know how it is.
So you out here
there goes the neighborhood.
Well, we can
Y'all roasting
all
some wild ass beans over here.
Look at him
bro.
flicking that wrist in the back with them beans.
But we can all agree that people don't fucking read. So that's the biggest issue here is like a lot of people don't read. They see what they see and they're like, oh, nope, that's what it is now. This is real life and this is the truth right here in this 2 sentence that I read. So when they saw like, we were like, let's bring loud music to McKee's Rocks because like the whole background of the story is like, yes, we're having issues with our venue space here because it is too loud. So we're like, oh, let's make a pun to make it like loud music in McKee's Rocks, but we're in a huge vacant like bank building in an industrial district and there's nobody that lives around us. But people don't read that. They're just like, no, instantly like, I hate you. And it wasn't like that with everybody. There was a lot more outpouring of respect and happiness that we're doing this in their community, and a lot of those people from McKee's Rocks have driven up to Allentown and come in and just be like, I don't even drink coffee, but I just want to say hi and thank you for like wanting to come to our neighborhood. That's it.
Dope.
And like it's super awesome and very impressive that we can get people like that to make a point to come up, because unfortunately like Nick and I we don't get to live our lives. Like our lives are answering emails and doing things and being present and baristing and all of that. So when people message us on the Black Forge page just saying, hi, how are you? Or like, I appreciate you guys. We don't get to see them very often. And like all of a sudden a month later, we'll look back through messages like, oh shit, like we suck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a very reliable like way of getting, I mean, because we get to say like a page or whatever. And I'll go through and like people are actually like trying to offer us like gigs and money and shit.
Right.
And I won't get that message. I'll be like scrolling through to try to find some information from an old message or some shit, and then find like 5 new ones. Like, yo, when the fuck did you send this, bro? Like I got no notification, no kind of and then sometimes they'll hide them from you and shit like that. It'll be go into a weird folder.
It's too many different tiles on my iPhone to have messages that can have the one where you miss out on money where you reach out to them 3 weeks later. Like, I see this. You still down there? Like, oh, we went in another direction. Like you only reached out to me once on Facebook Messenger. You didn't even try that fucking hard.
Like you didn't even try that hard.
You could have like emailed
get on my wall or something. Damn, is that
Google?
still a thing? I don't even know. But god damn it. But I'm jealous of y'all. Like y'all, people reached out to y'all and thanked y'all for coming to the neighborhood. I bought a whole ass house. Nobody thanked me. Nobody it's just dudes standing, like I'll be out there raking my leaves and dudes just be on the porch. This is one dude, he just watches me rake my leaves. He don't even try to hide that he's watching me. He just no drink, no nothing, no refreshments. He's just on his porch.
Does he sit in a stance with his like elbow on his knee?
He leans on his porch. Yeah. He just leans and he just watches. And he's just watching me, and I'm just, and it's weird because we've had moments where like I notice him watching me, and it's just like, you watching me?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm watching you, and I'm like, you watching me? Yeah, I'm watching. And it's like this standoff.
Do you just like scurry it up real quick? Like I'm just gonna go.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like
just keep staring back at him.
That's what I've done, but it don't like he's unmovable.
He's just gonna do it for you guys. Have a thing.
He been in the neighborhood too long. I ain't shit to him.
Yeah, nah, yeah. That's
you paid a mortgage twice. This is nothing. I'm watching you. I'm like, you watching me, ain't you? Yeah, I'm watching you. I'm like, fuck.
It just gave me the best mental image of you raking, but trying to give somebody a look.
Yeah.
Like, while
you
raking,
not
just holding
tough.
still, staring at somebody.
And what's funny is like I try to look tough, but then it's these 2 little kids running around doing random shit.
Just
and then I
kicking
go
your
into
pile
daddy
of
mode.
leaves.
It's like, this motherfucker still watching. Yeah, I'm still watching. Like, what you doing on your porch?
You just got to come out and just offer him a bag of chips before you start some shit like
And the
that.
crazy
Like,
thing is I could offer him beer. I could do whatever, but no, fuck you. You just be watching me. Like, say hello or something.
It is crazy because, like I said, I mean, it's weird because that, like, some areas just be like that, like over in Beaver or whatever. Like, I mean, I've said hello to the neighbors, like in passing or whatever, but it's such a weird place to be because, like, while we all see each other and know each other in some like very faint sense, like, we don't talk to each other. And there's a lot of these awkward moments where I see you coming around, and like the thing is, I honestly don't even want to get to know them to the point where like we're all because like my mood changes just like every other fucking human. I don't always want to fucking talk to you, motherfucker. Like that, just because we happen to like live next to each other doesn't mean we're going to be the best of motherfuckers friends. We just happen to buy houses in the same area because it fit our budget at the time, and like, you know what I mean, same like when you drive up, like when you pass a motherfucker that has the same car, like we didn't get the same car because we have similar personalities. We were just in a similar financial situation as
with
some
the same car.
Yeah,
so with cars, I think I do what the neighbors do to me. Because if you drive in my same car and I'm looking at you trying to profile you, because you're a reflection of me. Like my car, I've seen a lot of middle-aged women driving my car, and now I'm like, well, am I a middle-aged woman? Like, is that what I am?
Yeah.
Did I choose wrongly? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, it don't always mean what it is, but you feel it, so you feel like
some type of way.
You feel like you should have some sort of connection, and that doesn't mean that you should.
I'm a middle-aged woman, y'all. I'm just put it out here.
No. The Hyundai Sonata is the official car of middle-aged white women. That is so.
I'll agree.
Hyundai.
I don't have that.
The Hyundai Sonata.
That's suburban white woman. You know what I mean,
well, I'm always gonna get approved for this car loan. That's because the Sonata's like $17,000 and it has 4 doors. Like, look, man, fuck. Like, you ain't in the best of positions. Like, yo, I'm about to go get me a Sonata. Like, nobody's out. You just stumble upon a Sonata.
Yeah, it's marketed as economically friendly, and like it has some edges or whatever, and
it's
it looks
sold everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
every car lot has
cool.
a Sonata.
Yeah, everybody.
You go to the Jeep dealership, they got one Sonata in the back just in case.
Yeah,
and the team was like,
unsure.
Yeah, we do got this Sonata, and we know you approve for that.
Yeah.
So your credit came back a little low, but
We got this.
We can work with you.
Your credit came back Sonata. Okay.
Like, I ain't buying this car because I love to drive.
I gotta get to work.
Gotta get the kids there. Yeah, I mean, I drop these little motherfuckers off. I need enough room to do that. And yeah, I mean,
yo, the Sonata. Everybody who has a Sonata has children. There are no Sonatas with those sticker decals that show that they have children, because nobody's happy about having a Sonata.
Nah. Nobody's taking pride. But I did see a motherfucker with a blacked out Sonata. He had like the fucking black rims and the black tints, and I'm like, why?
He made it cool. He got a little extra money. He invested.
Why? Like, you could have got a Chevy and did that, and it would have like an older Chevy. If you'd have got an older Impala and like decked that motherfucker out, I could see like the
that's
like
a tax return going
like
on.
a Sonata.
And
it was a new one. It was a new Sonata.
Check out your Sonata.
You went and financed a Sonata and then spent your extra like $1,000 rebate on this motherfucker. Rims and tints. Like, why?
They don't even have rims to fit most Sonatas. You gotta do what they used to do back in the day, when they pushed the wheels out and lowered it.
The
just
spacers.
you gotta do that shit on a Sonata.
Is there a Sonata wave? Like,
I don't know.
When you see another person driving a Sonata, you just like lower your head, tilt your hat down and look down.
When you see another person driving a Sonata, all you see is a possible babysitter. You're like, you know what? That person got kids. If we get cool enough, I can drop my kids off there.
You see a play date.
That's so true. Listen, for all of our Sonata driving listeners, we do play in Sonatas. You just don't have the Bluetooth connection. You gotta have an aux cord. With a Sonata, you got the old school, the aux, not even the one that go into the radio. You got the aux cord that plug into the cigarette lighter. Like, that's what you got. Like, how was
the old school tape deck one?
I remember that.
No. Now let me just be very clear here. I would rather the fucking tape deck, like, yeah, I mean, because that sound is much better than the motherfucking the radio receiver that you would have. Like,
I had one
back
of those.
When those, because you did,
and I had to hang it on my rearview mirror.
You had to hang it, and it never came in. And you would have to try to find the right frequency, because it was crazy. There was actually a point in my life where that was an issue, where I was like, I couldn't afford like actual, like, you know what I mean, like.
a nice car.
A nice car with a Bluetooth connection.
Yeah.
So
Or
I was like,
an actual jack.
So I'm either gonna go. My two options are to either fucking gut this motherfucking little head thing and like put in my own aftermarket little head unit, or get a car that's just old enough on that cusp that still had the tape in there, because fuck that radio Bluetooth dip, man. That shit was
I had the tape shit for one car. It
Yeah.
was a 1989 Mercedes-Benz diesel fuel Jones. I called it my paid in full.
the diesel fuel.
The diesel
in full.
fuel. Yeah, I called it my paid in full.
Yeah.
Dope ass vehicle, man. Dope ass car. And I used to slide that tape in, plug that joint to an MP3 player.
Yep.
Yeah.
You youngins don't know about the MP3.
Woo.
Now with the Bluetooth shit, I still plug in my iPhone with this, because with the Bluetooth you don't get the album art,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's important. Like if I'm playing my shit, I got to see the album art. I'm bougie a little bit.
Yeah, you
in my middle age
I
woman.
got the
Hello,
bougie thing too. It's all right. I understand.
Yeah, no,
I got the partial song name. It just doesn't scroll. So
yeah.
Yeah, mine. I got the
That's
full
frustrating.
screen. I got the rear view mirror. I got when people text me, their face shows up and like what
Ooh,
it says.
in your car?
Oh shit.
Shit, what you got a Maybach?
2000. I got a 2016 Scion IM. So right when we opened up Black Forge, Nick and I were working so much. We were like, we have a little extra money. We feel like adults. Like we're both gonna buy new cars.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then Alter Bar closed a few months after that. I was like, why the fuck did I buy this fucking car? I can't afford this.
I don't know
I've been
if I'm-
struggling ever since.
I don't know if I'm on my text showing up though. You know, I've had the same phone number since high
I've
school.
had some interesting
Me too.
situations
Me
with
too.
a car full of people, and then I got like my dude just like,
Yeah, ain't no telling who
hey,
texts me randomly.
that sex
My
last
number
night
been the
was
same.
great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And then I got someone sitting next to me, I'm like,
if I
Oh
ever,
yeah, no.
Just, like,
You're having
punching
your
the
whole
screen.
shit on there. Like you got to be in a very committed situation.
Yeah.
You have your whole,
Not at all.
have your whole shit. Like
Not
you
at
just
all.
got to deny all those access. Like
I don't even got my notifications that come on my screen. I find out I got texts. I gotta go and actively seek out my text messages. Don't know numbers come up. You ain't know you've got mail. None of that shit. Nah, hell no.
So what are your like? So my thing in a car, like I mean, because my car is old as shit. Like I got a 08 Volkswagen. That motherfucker. That was 08. No, I'm now. I keep that motherfucker clean. Yeah, I mean, I keep it clean, but like that motherfucker.
That's the sweet spot where you can keep it looking modern, but you don't have to pay the modern price.
Exactly.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
mean, like, and that's why I bought it so many times. I mean, I bought that motherfucking car 4 times, man. I hit 3 deer out this. Like, it's been a thing. But it looks beautiful, but it's old as shit. My thing is, I need leather seats because I don't want to wipe no shit off. I need a sunroof. That's my. You know what I mean, and I just need the Bluetooth connection. Those are my 3 things. And like, I like that because it drives fun. Like, it's a nice. You know what I mean, good horsepower, and like, I like the go. So like, what is your like minimum? Like when you're looking at a car, your 3 bare minimums. Like
Black leather interior. Gotta have a black leather interior. For me, that's the biggest thing. Everything else is negotiable. It's got to be black
Just,
leather
yeah, leather.
interior.
Yeah.
I don't have any. So I'm not a car dude. So I'm not, you know, in line with any particular brand or whatever. Like I gotta like the exterior, black leather interior, and it can't have but so many
oh
miles. if I
yeah,
go
your
use.
Impala was black leather interior.
Yeah,
too.
it's all gonna be black leather
it is,
interior.
right, yeah.
You remember when we first met, we kept confusing our cars for a little while because we both had the
Oh,
Impala,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
why you started calling me the Godfather.
Yeah, because the Impala's a drug dealer car.
Yeah, it is.
That's just
Yeah, it
a
is.
drug dealer car. They try to get bougie on these new Impalas. No, I need that drug dealer Impala. I need that one that replaced the Monte Carlo. Like that's what I need. But
Yeah.
yeah, black leather interior. I do like black wheels now, but like all of that shit. When I go to the car lot, look, what you trying to have me pay each month? Because I'm not trying to put
That's
nothing
well,
down.
Yeah, I forgot to
I'm
say
financing my shit. I'm not
that's
putting
probably
nothing
number
down.
1. I need to know. Like I need.
Oh, I extended my
I gotta-
payments out as long as I
Well,
possibly
you have
could.
to. You extend them out. You pay more. You pay it off.
I need
and
to
like
do
you
that.
don't
Oh, I
have to
plan
put-
on just trading it in. I'm like, at some
Trade
point
it
in
in.
time, I'm just going to give it back to you and get something else and be in debt
Pretty
for another
much.
5 years with
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
I try to set it up and get to a price point where I could try to pay it off in like 3 to 4 years, and then just like have that because I just want to like and I was so fucking close before I got in my first fucking accident. I was a year away from owning this goddamn car, and then I got in my accident, and insurance was like, "How about you just start from scratch?" I'm like,
Yeah.
and that's the they don't tell you about like insurance. Like insurance don't just put you where you was at.
No.
They just be like, well.
You fucked up.
Yeah, well,
Here's
how
what we're
nigga.
gonna do. We're gonna pay that balance, right? We're gonna give you $100.
Yeah.
Got you.
I ain't got no car. Yeah, exactly. Pay off the bill. I ain't got no car, and I'm starving.
You got $100 though.
I got $100.
You're
You know what I
like,
mean?
look, we ain't even gonna write you a check. You go to cash. We're gonna take this shit out the register.
Wait, you got change for a 10? Because I ain't about to give you this 20 I got. Like, yeah, I mean, that shit is crazy. So what are your three?
Oh, dude, I've had so many terrible cars. I actually have a really funny story about that. But my three would be a car that doesn't overheat.
Oh, yeah,
I guess that's
Nicolini.
important.
It's extremely important. It starts every time I try to start it.
Yeah.
In cruise control.
Oh,
Those-
cruise
those are
control.
pretty-
Yeah.
Let me add to mine. It can't have an ignition key.
See, now you
What?
bougie.
What
This
kind of
motherfucker.
bougie shit is
see,
that?
this
Do you know
motherfucker
how
shops
hard
at
it is to
Nordstrom. So
impress-
he's
Yeah,
on
I
a
got some
different.
When last time you got in the
Yeah.
car with a dude with an ignition key? Y'all be
Oh, you mean like
looking
a
down on-
turn,
yeah.
like the whole? Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it
still, yeah, that's
It can have the
bougie as
fob
shit.
that slide in, but they didn't move past that a little bit. You got to have a button now. Got to
That
have a button
scares
now.
me. If there's a button to start it, that means I feel like somebody could eventually hack it and start it with their phone.
Oh, they can.
Yeah,
But they
there-
gotta have a
No, they
key.
can't.
There's
But
that
they
new
can
thing.
only go down the street, then that shit gonna shut off.
And
'Cause you
people
gotta
have
the
this little
key
box
fob in
that they stand
No,
near you
but
and
if they
click your
hack
thing.
that shit, like hack it, like they can, yeah, I mean, they, like all it is a computer, and as it is, it's two things like communicating. So if they hack that, they're just like, all right,
That's my car now.
It's my car now. You know what I mean? Like they got motherfuckers
that's
like
cool.
they got like little loopholes
Get
or
another
whatever where
car.
like they can remotely start and stop your car and shit. Like that's all
I
North
would
Star
imagine.
is.
I would imagine that they can but my car is not expensive enough that you putting all that in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like
You
a
ain't
hacker
doing
ain't
all-
coming at
You
my
ain't
shit.
doing
Like,
all that.
Nobody's stealing my Ford Fiesta.
My fucking Jeep Cherokee. I don't even have a Grand. I just got the regular. I didn't even know that there were different cars till I bought mine. I was like, oh, there's a bigger motherfucker. Why you ain't tell me that? No wonder this motherfucker was on sale. I
This
like
is
that
in your
too.
price range.
If my shit's on, but that's the thing. I could have got the fucking Grand. God damn these. They didn't. My shit was on sale. I'm a sucker for a sale. That's why I buy clothes all the time.
That's okay.
You were buying your first car after cheating death. Like, yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
was he
Yep.
the reason
didn't
why he
cheat
was in the
death. I
market
earned
for
it.
a
Yeah.
new car was because he was also in the market for a new life. Like,
Yes.
yeah, like-
And that's why you're also allowed to be bougie.
I'm not bougie. I'm bougie.
You want a push start button.
yeah. He's like, I can't have
You
it.
want a
if I got
button.
a key, I
That's
can't,
where
like,
the world is going.
If I got a
if
key, I
got
can't
the
do
key,
anything.
Oh,
You gotta
Jesus.
understand it's hard when you look. When I was in high school,
we can't understand
One of the
it's hard.
things I wanted to do, it was my life's goal when I was in high school, was to pull my keys out my pocket, jingle them a little bit, and unlock my door. That you was the man when you did that in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be
yeah.
sitting on the bus watching people get in their cars, like, damn, I can't
Yeah.
wait to unlock my door manually. All right?
Man.
I always
Now-
wanted the button underneath the wheel. I
Yeah.
always thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Now, fellas, go jingle a bunch of keys now and see if you get some pussy.
Nah.
You're not getting no
That's
ass.
that's not working.
Not if you jiggling a bunch of
Yeah,
keys.
nah.
No, you gotta just pull one fob out. I got a fob and a house key. I'm the man to these people. out here.
Wait until you
Got a
get the
fob and
wait.
the only key is a house key. I own the house. Like, you can't
wait
tell
until
me
you
nothing.
wait until you get to the
I'm
to
bougie.
the sensor touch. Yeah, I mean, where you ain't got to pull your keys out. You just
Oh, I
touch
got
the
that.
door.
I got that.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
have an
man.
Alexa at home too?
Nah, don't do that because I'm not arguing with multiple women. All right. First, like,
Touche.
we were in Shoe Brew and Zach was arguing with his Alexa. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah,
Alexa.
She can't never live with
Yeah,
me.
Alexa, put it on 10. Are you sure you want it on 10?
Like, I said 10. I pay the bills.
So what are your three?
Oh, that's easy. It has to be all black. Everything interior,
All
outside.
black everything.
Rear view camera. That has changed my
oh,
life.
so
Change
were you
again.
just talking bougie and now like a rear view
That's
camera?
more of a safety concern.
Yeah, it's a safety concern.
Parking is so
I
much
have a
easier.
hella safety concern because, in fact, that's been a safety concern for like, I don't know, the better half of humanity.
Exactly. You gotta have a rear view camera now. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
then a big fucking trunk so I can put all my stuff in it.
Okay.
Like
I
my
don't
bike.
I don't use the rear view camera for safety at all. I don't give a fuck about the pedestrians. What I want to do is fit this car into the tightest spot ever, and it's so much easier with a rear view
It
jump.
is, and that's why I love it, especially in Pittsburgh, because everyone parks like a fucking
Right.
asshole.
So all these spots that used to be cut off, I used to be like, damn, can I film? Like, you know what? I got this
I
whole
got this
technology
camera.
that'll
Yeah.
show me if I can get in
Yeah.
there, that shit's dope. I would never get a self-parking car.
I
though.
do. I will get a self-parking car at some
I'm
point.
cool.
I'm ready to upgrade to a Tesla immediately. I don't want to drive anymore.
Yeah, no,
I'm ready
I
to
saw
give that
Lil
up.
Duval put his video where he was like on the freeway smoking. He was in his. I was like, damn, I would love to.
Yeah,
do
no,
that.
I'm cool. Yeah, I'm definitely want to upgrade to that shit. I mean,
That scares
sounds
me, though.
dope as hell. I mean,
Now, I don't know if I like that.
Pictures used to scare people. That can't be a reason not to.
I still don't understand
technology.
photographs.
Yeah, but you still take them.
What?
That is a.
I don't understand photographs.
I don't understand it.
There's a few
I
things
don't
that we don't
either,
bring up
to be
around
honest.
Ed.
I don't.
One of them's photographs.
Okay,
the
so
other one
all
is
y'all
space.
laughing.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe in
Trigger
that.
word is space.
Yeah, don't start that. But okay, photographs are the work of the devil. How the fuck do you do that? How does that happen? How? Buzzy's got a camera. Explain the camera.
How the fuck does a camera
Optics.
How's it work,
imprint
Buzzy?
Optics light.
imprint that shit into some, and then you can fucking put it on, and then you can like put it on paper and shit.
Inside there's a sensor.
Mirrors.
It's sensitive to light, and the computer in here takes the light. It knows how much green, the level, how much green, magenta, the three things on the TV, the three colors.
So you could build that motherfucker.
No.
So then you don't understand
know
how it
shit.
works. If you
No.
can't build it, you don't know how to like.
We don't have to.
you
We
can-
just got to know how to hit the button.
Yeah.
You can click the button. You're good.
I am there with that, but I don't know if these pictures that
You
we're
guys-
producing are real.
You're
I went to
professional
film
comedians,
school,
and you have
and
no
they
idea how
told me.
microphones work.
I have. You're
I
right.
don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm.
the tool of your trade.
But you're proving my point. Just because you don't understand how it works, just because you're like, yeah, I mean, doesn't mean you can't adapt that shit. You can't adapt to. You can't use that shit.
It's not that I
Like,
don't appreciate photographs. I just think that
the work of
people
the
talk
devil.
about
It's
scary.
same
It's the work
thing
of
with-
the devil.
It's the work of the
Say-
devil. That's fine.
Self-driving cars can be the work of the devil that I fucks with. That,
Listen,
and
the devil
I'm
has
all
given us
about
a
that.
lot.
Don't
Yeah,
fight
devil
on
has given us
self-driving
quite a
cars
bit.
and photographs and how.
I'm not going to put those in the same box. Right?
Okay, we're gonna-
because we've all been on an internet connection that just shut down on us. That can't happen if my car's self-driving. I can't be on 376
Exactly.
and there's a malfunction. First of all, I don't trust. I might have a self-driving car, but these are regular driving ass motherfuckers around me. How does my car adapt to this fuck shit that he's doing over here?
I mean, it's the same thing. If you look, it's crazy because I was like every time, like not every time, but every once in a while I'll be driving and like the thought occurs to me how much trust that I have to have in humanity in
Yes,
order to be
you
doing
do.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You're going
I'm in
75, 80 miles an hour.
I'm going 80 miles an hour in a machine that I didn't build. In fact, I bought this machine after somebody else used it and somebody bought it and then sold it to me. There was so much trust. I got to trust that these ball bearings are working, that this fucking engine isn't going to blow up, that the people around me aren't just going to veer into my lane on some random
yeah.
shit. I got to trust that like the road has been paved properly. I got to trust that the deer aren't going to fucking jump out.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I mean, I got to trust all of these things to be in this car. So it's like, all you're doing is adding another thing to trust, and it's like there's so many things that you're
It's
already.
my breaking point, man.
See, and
I
now
can-
we're gonna get really heavy. Let's just avoid this. Let's just avoid the conversation because it's gonna go somewhere real deep and dark.
No, you done brought up
That's
space.
what we
It's
do
it's
in here
already
at
out
Drinking
there now.
Partners.
Shit
We're not
done
talking
happened.
about space
Shit
today.
happened. You brought it up.
No,
You
we're
brought it
not
up.
No
talking
Now
God
it's
in
going
space.
down.
No God
No.
in space.
All right, well, take me to space with the, we
We're
gonna.
I was going to say, I
Oh,
do
wait,
want to bring
yeah.
up the full pint beer.
We will bring
Yeah,
up the full
yeah.
pint beer.
So tell us about this other beautiful collaboration. That you brought to us.
Luxuria, this was actually a lot of fun when we came up
Yeah.
with this idea. It's a coffee IPA, and when we came out with this, we took it on tour. We pretended we were a band, and we sent the kegs out to a handful of different bars around the area and hosted events and sold limited edition merch at them, and you could come and hang out and drink with us and stuff, and we had a blast. I think at one of them, a guy dressed up like Satan.
He did.
That was fun.
He was the chef at
Fuel and Fuddle.
Yes,
That's
Yep.
fun to y'all?
He made hell burgers
I love Fuel and
while
Fuddle.
dressed as the devil.
Fuel the photo was I go to Pitt and I got to take this girl out on
Yeah.
a budget, so we gonna go
Yeah.
out after
Fuel and
11.
Half
Fuddle.
off after
We
11.
gonna go.
Yep.
We gonna go out at 11. I'm
Mad
gonna take
Max
you on
too.
a date at 11. See, I didn't even know Mad Max was doing half off. See, I didn't fuck with Mad Max till I graduated because Qdoba used to have the bar upstairs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so that took me out of Mad
remember
Max
that.
because the bartender was.
Oh, the
giving-
Qdoba, the
Yeah.
bar upstairs, or whatever. Yeah,
That
that
was
shit was
amazing.
wild.
And they were
yeah.
showing love on the drinks.
Yeah.
And they let me DJ.
A word?
Yeah, my name was DJ Purple Sweater Vest. It's pictures on Facebook.
Purple sweater vest.
This is what I used to wear sweater vests. Well, it's a long story, but I used to do it.
Well, I'm
Seems
glad
like a short
you still
story.
have
You
it.
used to wear a sweater vest.
Basically, and I DJ'd off of an iPod, and we had a good ass time. Everybody was drunk, and shit was dope. I forgot what we were even talking about.
We were talking
Oh,
about
the
the
full
beer.
pint. The full pint.
Yeah. Ooh, man,
Sorry,
I
I'm
like the
pouring
head
some.
on that. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we all know Tom from Full Pint. We all work with him
Shout
a
out
lot.
to Tom Poet,
He's the man.
Yeah,
the motherfucking man.
Thanks, bud.
And so actually, and again, that's another connection that was made through working with you guys and working with Epicast. You know, we bring all these brewers in, become friends with them, and then it's just a matter of I shoot out a text message of like, hey, dude, let's do a beer.
Yeah, let's collaborate. Let's like grow each other's brands and do some dope shit.
Right. And he was on board and their brewers were on board. And we sat down one day and Ashley and I, being the people that we are, just started throwing out stupid ideas. Like, let's make a tour poster and let's make limited
What
edition
was the
stuff.
original
And
thing? Like a squirrel with 6 tits?
yeah.
Squirrel with 6 tits.
That was going to be the artwork for the sticker.
What?
Don't ask why.
Oh my god, that would have been
that was
so
my next
dope.
question. Now I was gonna have to get a backstory on that.
Oh man, I mean, this is dope ass art. I still lament.
The
Not
phrase
having a
squirrel with
squirrel
6
with
tits
6
is
tits.
pretty
Oh,
cool.
it was just
I
in
do
my
like
head.
that phrase.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad. I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah, it was just in my head. If I think about it, I'll say it.
Okay. But yeah, the artwork
if
for
I
this. So
think
we
about
have our own graphics guy that does like
Seth.
our own artwork. Yes, his name is Seth.
Seth. Can't think of his last
I
name.
don't remember.
I'll look
But
it up right now.
Seth created the
Seth.
artwork for that, and we wanted to fit into kind of like, you know, our brand and
Holy
doing something
fuck.
around the realms of what they've already been
It's really
doing
good.
with their branding and make it a little different, a little darker. So now we have this sexy goat
That
woman.
shit takes you around the world
Seth.
Yeah.
on a pallet.
Phil
like,
Seth is his name.
Phil Seth.
So he has
Two
two
first names.
One of which
Is
is
his
Phil,
last.
Phil
eliminated
Seth.
from the black
Yeah,
community.
those
'cause
two.
There are no black Seths.
There are no.
No, there are no vet.
He's
black
done a
Seths.
lot of artwork for them. Actually,
There's
This
no
helped,
black
yeah.
Bobs
He
either.
did the Ale Satan, which is really cool and
They're
kind of fits in the
Bobbies,
same
though.
realm.
Bobbies, yeah, and there's no black Bobs.
That's true.
Black Robs, no black Bobs.
But it's the same name.
He's paying
just-
with cocaine.
No,
Like what, black
no.
Robs.
Is there any,
Right?
is there
There's
any
you're
black
never
dicks?
there's
Pause.
no.
But no.
No, but I mean, it's like there are Richards that go by Dick.
Yeah, no. I don't even know if there's
it
any.
had to be paused.
There's
That
bla-
can't
there's
be,
black-
that phrase
there's-
can't be uttered on drinking partners
There's
without a
black.
pause.
There's black riches. Yeah, I mean,
But
there's
there
a
are
rich.
riches.
There's no black. No, they're not. There's no black dick.
yeah,
there's
we're
no
not.
black
Well,
Bobs.
black people aren't. Black men aren't going to walk around saying dick randomly. So
We're not gonna. Nobody
I'm
in the
definitely
hood
not
is gonna
calling
call
dick
themselves
across
dick.
the bar.
I
Hey,
mean,
yo, dick.
Yeah.
Put it in the trunk. Like that sounds
Yeah.
ridiculous.
There's no black dicks. No black Bobs. Bobbies, Robs.
So Dick, Bob, Seth, they've all been
Seth. Yeah, no
annexed
black
by the black
Seths.
community.
I don't know any black Seths.
Well, every time I do my joke, there's this one guy. What about Seth Curry? He's light skinned as fuck, and so I'm going. to
Yeah. He's yeah. His mom gave him that name. Whichever
yeah.
one was the
Yeah.
whichever one was
Yeah, his
the
pops was
European. Yeah, the
You
pops was
cannot.
whichever was the.
whatever with his European side. He got that from the European side. And that's what I think people forget is that mixed kids are still like white kids just as much as they are black kids. So they still, you know what I mean? There's an exception that proves the rule.
It's just unfortunate that their names are
I
European
mean,
names.
like, Seth ain't a bad name. I think it's a cool name. I'm just saying that it's
I
still,
don't
you
feel
know.
that way at all.
Seth ain't
I
bad.
don't like the name.
It's not. It's not horrible to hear. But if you were having a child and the girl was like, I want to name my son Seth, what would you say? No.
No.
That sounds like a no.
I would say,
No.
what's Seth short for?
Sethin.
no, it's not.
Stephanie.
Seth 3.
There is no short for Seth. I think it's just Seth. So you have to make
It's
that
its own
promise to yourself
situation.
and your child
Yeah.
that you have
Seth-
to support.
Sounds like you're just
It's-
naming a kid a nickname.
It's Sethany is what
I like Sethany.
Sethany.
What is the nickname to Seth?
I don't think there is.
It is.
I think it's
It's
just
one
Seth
syllable,
is Seth.
so that you
So
can't
just
go
gonna
past.
call out adjectives.
Yeah.
You can't shorten a one syllable name. To,
Seth.
Well, you don't have to. So like Richard, the nickname
it's
is
2 syllables, so you go
Rich,
rich.
Or
That's
Dick.
2
Or
syllables.
Dick. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
pause,
So, but
like,
Seth is just 1 syllable, so you can't shorten it. There's no point in a nickname. That's just lazy.
So then
Like,
it's just going to be your nickname will be an adjective. It'll be something to describe you. Like your nickname will be Harry. which
yeah,
is a
it ain't,
terrible
yeah, there's gonna be
nickname.
some shit. Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I go, it was crazy because like, and again, it's so wild. Like this 360 coming back. Like, I mean, you starting this podcast with us. I was talking to some folks at Hitchhiker, and you know, she was like, "Hey, like, been listening to a podcast. I really love you guys with this that, and the other." Like, you know, and I ask people all the time, like, what their favorite potato is or whatever. I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like, I forgot that was even a thing that we did on this.
No,
podcast.
we didn't do it. You did that, and I actively actively
it.
did not call it to like, hey, remember to do that.
But they fucking
If
like,
she
I mean,
likes it, that's
and I
cool.
was like, oh shit. So like, I mean, now that we're here and everything. So what's your favorite form of potato?
My favorite form of potato.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got a lot of favorite forms of potatoes.
Everybody got a lot of favorite. Who doesn't love potatoes? But what is your favorite form of potato?
I love mashed potatoes just because I can dip shit in it, like turkey, and have like gravy on top of that and biscuits.
Why isn't
like a
turkey
dipping
dipped in mashed
sauce.
potatoes a widely
No, it is.
I don't know.
spoken thing?
I'll
No,
get like
no,
some
dude.
mashed potatoes, get some like pulled turkey. I'll put that shit on my
Oh,
fork
it's
and
always.
scoop
Oh
it.
yeah,
I feel like
scoop it.
everyone,
Oh,
Yeah.
the
I
gravy,
feel like
the
everyone's
scoop.
done
Oh,
it, but
yeah.
nobody ever discusses it. At
Mashed
least not around
potatoes.
me.
Bruh.
My theory is Thanksgiving, you just put so much food on your plate that you don't have an option.
Right, and
Your
then you make it
gravy's-
into a
your
sandwich.
turkey- yeah, it's just getting you in there.
Food's
dude.
touching is cool to me. I don't understand people who don't like their food.
I
I
touching.
know
love
a lot of
food
people
touching.
like that.
That-
I'm
that's-
just like put it in my mouth as fast as possible. Oh, I should have
Okay,
Pause.
hell no, hell no, I ain't pausing that. I'm hard right now.
Pause.
God damn it.
But
It's
I
like if being the only female. Fuck.
Pause. I ain't touching it. See, told you he's the ass. He's the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
He's
She
the
thought
bad
it
guy.
too.
But
It happened while I was saying I'm sorry. I'm inappropriate.
so, but like I do when I'm at my KFC or whatever, and I do eat KFC. Go fuck everybody's yourselves.
I've
They can
never
like
had it.
I
Those
mean,
mashed
like,
potatoes
listen,
can touch the other food.
But the mashed potatoes, when she asked for like, oh, do you want some dipping sauce or whatever? I'm like, I ordered the mashed potatoes. That's what I do. I get the chicken fingers or whatever, like the chicken, and that's just it's such a fucking that's the
Ooh,
dipping sauce.
yeah.
The mashed potatoes and the gravy, all is dipping sauce for your chicken.
Yep.
And I mean, same thing with turkey. I
Fucking
mean, like that
truth.
is what's your favorite? What's your favorite form of potato, sir?
I like breakfast potatoes.
So
Yeah,
what?
you-
What? No. What kind of breakfast potato?
There
You got hash browns. You got fucking home fries. You got all like what is?
no,
I
he likes
like
the
when
potato.
when you order them as breakfast potatoes, the little
Yeah.
cubes that are crispy.
Oh,
Yes, sir. There's a
okay,
different
the
seasoning
all right,
that they
the-
put on there.
Yeah, the cube potatoes
Yeah.
with the fried
Do you
cube
put
potatoes.
ketchup on
Okay,
it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah,
see, nah.
You guys don't do
had
ketchup
me
with
till- you had me till
But you do
that.
ketchup with
I
French
was with you.
fries.
Yeah,
No.
I don't do
Oh,
ketchup
you
with
don't?
French fries no more.
I
I'm
only
a
eat
ranch
ketchup
dude.
on
Like,
hamburgers sometimes,
So
Yeah,
what do you do with
ketchup,
your fries?
I'm-
You just eat them plain?
oh, I
Barbecue
put
sauce.
ranch or cheese
I do
sauce.
barbecue sauce too.
or honey mustard.
And the sweet and sour sauce from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, on,
sweet and
on-
sour sauce.
on
Fuck.
potatoes.
Pretty
Yeah.
much any dipping sauce.
Yeah.
On potatoes?
Yeah.
No.
Well, fries.
Bro.
French fries,
you
not
don't
breakfast.
put, you
No,
don't,
but
you
you
don't dip your
fries.
shit in
I put it in ranch or cheese. Those are my two dipping sauces.
Ranch or cheese?
Those are my only two.
You
ranch?
dip
What
it
do you
in
mean?
ranch?
Wait, yeah. What the fuck you talking about?
I have a weird relationship with ranch.
you don't
Really?
do
I
you don't
love
do
ranch.
fries and ranch? Oh
No.
my god! I
Pizza
get-
and ranch for me.
They never put
I
my
won't
ranch
do
in the
that.
Pizza and
bag.
ranch.
I won't do pizza.
Pizza and ranch? Hell
Yeah,
no.
I literally
do-
every bite I take, I have to dip
Did
it
a
in
little
ranch.
bit of
Yep.
yeah.
No, that sounds
that's
terrible to
mm.
me. Sounds terrible. So
Oh,
here's what's
okay,
crazy.
whatever.
I've never dipped my chicken in ranch, right?
You
But
don't
I
dip
won't-
chicken in ranch?
No, but I will have a chicken salad with ranch sauce.
Okay, that's
Oh
fine.
yeah.
I mean
yeah.
ranch dressing, but
Yeah,
I
ranch
will
dressing.
not dip my chicken
See,
in
I
that.
can't use ranch as a dressing because it's too like milky. It's gross. I don't like it as a dressing.
I mean,
I can use it as a dipping sauce.
Well, it depends-
Balsamic for dressing.
Balsamic,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It depends on the ranch. There's a difference between dipping ranch and salad ranch. Like a salad ranch should be a little thinner. It should be kind of like I like a thinner salad ranch that like has a like almost like a ginger sauce, like I mean kind of kind of thinness because then it can coat and like I mean
Right.
it'll I mean better for salads or whatever. But like that thick dipping ranch is for like your wings
pizzas.
and your pizzas and your fries. Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to dip pizza in ranch. That's just
That's
my
bullshit.
opinion.
What?
But here's the thing.
Wow.
We have totally veered off of the great things that they're doing.
Well, we're
But
nearing
you
this.
go
but this
down
is-
to Black Forge and you get this conversation. This is a sort of feel. This is the atmosphere that you will have at Black Forge.
Don't blame it on us. This is the Drinking Partners podcast.
Yeah,
I'm not blaming
you
them.
guys, you're steering the fucking
This
ship.
is an
We're just
endorsement
along
of
for
you
the ride
all.
right now.
First of all, people who are still listening at this point, they are enthralled. They are arguing in the car right now. We have broken up a relationship.
Yeah.
Because
Somebody ain't making it through this
Yeah,
weekend.
somebody-
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I mean, this is just the shit that happens amongst friends. You start talking about. I found out some things about you, like you dip your pizza in ranch.
I
don't
do,
trust you
and
as
I'm a
much
fucking monster
because of
when I eat it.
I fucking love that shit. Oh, I didn't even know. I thought everybody did that. I just thought that was a thing.
No,
Oh man, and I get so mad when I'm at the drive-through and I get the fucking. I'm like, yo, put the ranch in my bag, and they never put the
They
fucking
never do it.
ranch in my bag.
Pizza delivery. You ask for 4 ranches. They don't give
They
you
don't
shit.
ever
Or they
give
give you
ranches.
one. I do.
They don't.
Yeah, for
They
a whole
don't
ass
even-
pizza, I'm gonna need
They
4 of
don't
them
even think
motherfuckers,
you
know
should
what I
be
mean?
dipping
Now
that
I
shit
have
in
to,
ranch.
instead of doing Grubhub, I always have to call and say, I just want an ungodly amount of ranch. They
Yeah,
give
just
to
give me
just
all
one
of
human
it.
being. Just give me more.
All
With
of
a
the
side
ranches.
of pizza.
Yep.
Like
Ugh.
I
Yep.
need to order some ranch.
With
with a
this,
side of
yeah,
pizza,
yeah,
please.
I want
Pretty
all
much.
of the ranch.
I'm
Yes.
not
Fiore's,
dipping
they
pizza in
know.
anything.
When they see my face, they're like, that bitch wants 4 ranches.
I've never
Every time.
I've dipped my pizza
Every
in
time.
barbecue sauce once.
Ugh.
What?
Get the fuck
They have
outta
barbecue.
here.
You already
pizzas.
got tomato sauce on it.
I'm
Why are you
into
putting
that.
in more tomato sauce?
I like barbecue
I
sauce on
tried
the
it.
pizza.
What?
I do it.
I can see
All right,
it.
you
I
two
do
can
like
be
a good
friends.
barbecue sauce
Barbecue
pizza.
sauce and bacon. Man, you can't go wrong with that.
Can't.
I don't know.
Hey, man. None
I
of
feel
those
like
sound bad.
barbecue is like the dipping champion, in my opinion. It's the dip champ.
What?
I
It's
think
the
you're
it's
lying.
gold.
Ranch
That's
is
gold
much
medal
more
You
dip.
guys
Nipples.
need to start a poll through drinking partners,
Yeah.
like dip contest.
What is
So-
the best dipping sauce?
Barbecue.
So-
Do
it's,
it.
it's it's clear barbecue.
Put it on Instagram
if
right
you
now.
if you're listening to this right now, when you go to Black Forge, you
Don't
come
leave
in.
us out of it. It's
No,
all drinking
no,
partners.
hell no. You
We don't
signed
sell
up for
dipping
you
sauce.
You signed up for this podcast.
If you did, what's
When
the
you-
first dipping
when
sauce you would buy?
Barbecue sauce.
Ranch.
Ranch.
Yahtzee.
Just
So
walks away.
when you're listening to this, when you go to Black Forge, I don't care who's at that counter. I mean, tell them,
Poor employees.
tell them what your favorite sauce is. Have a conversation about
just
sauce.
yell it in the person's
And-
face that's
and-
working,
and-
and we'll
and-
give you 20% off.
Maybe we'll do that.
Ranch.
Potato.
You're like 20% to this.
Yes.
Our employees are gonna be so confused for so long.
We're not going to tell them. We're not going to tell them.
Barbecue motherfucker. You'd be like
Just who
20% to
comes in
this
and
man
yells
over here.
we about to really start a left and right movement.
And then
You
and,
ranch or you BBQ.
And if you again,
Or honey mustard.
Honey mustard's that third party.
honey mustard is. I
got
think
That's
everybody
the Green
is.
Party.
Yeah, Green Party is definitely. Nobody's like we fucks with it, but
It's like they got a
it
few
needs
good
some
things
work.
to
Like
say.
I mean,
I like some of the things they say.
it is a third party sauce. And then go online and tell us what's your favorite dipping sauce, man. That'll be dope. This is insane.
been
And this is what
extremely
I was hoping for is that, like I said, and that's what I said at the beginning, man. Like this is gonna be a conversation amongst friends, and just so appreciative to even be here and have this opportunity and watching. Like I mean, you guys grow has been like it motivates me. Like I said, I mean, with your ability to network and like all of the like the artistic like endeavors that you go through, like between the two of y'all and that partnership, like I thrive for that. I mean, like, and it has been motivational to like see that progress and be like, well, shit, like if the people that I know and love and work with like can do that type of shit, it makes me feel like I can do it. So
can be
I
done.
mean,
Dude,
yeah,
you're on par or above us, man. I mean, you started Fresh Fest. I mean, on a regular basis, when I talk with you, you're like, I'm doing this, I'm working on this, I got to go do this, I'm going to be on this show, I'm hosting this. Like,
I'm just
you
trying to keep
work
up.
far more than Ashley and I do on a regular basis.
I don't believe that in the slightest bit, but I appreciate the compliment, man. But thank you guys for coming in.
Yeah, so let the people know where they can find you.
Online, Black Forge PGH for Instagram and Twitter, Black Forge Coffee on Facebook. Our biggest thing is if you want to talk to us, email us. blackforgecoffee@gmail.com.
Nick handles all the emails.
Either way, that's just how we handle everything because that's the only way that I can keep track of stuff. If you come in and talk to me face to face, I will forget.
Yes.
And I don't mean to be offensive. I've had multiple people come in and be like, how do I get art up on the wall? I'm like, email us. They're like, I have art in my car. And I'm like, I have so many things in my head right
Right.
now and I'm about to like switch over shifts. I'm sorry. It's nothing against you. Just email me.
Yeah, that's another thing that's like we constantly have to remind people. It's just like we're sorry if we don't get back to you right away. You know, if you text us or you call us, like if you say something to me, just remind us. Like,
Yeah.
just, you know, it's hard. It's hard. 1, being stoners. 2, running a business. 3, having a lot going on at once. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, we just want to, you know, go out there and tell everybody.
Yeah, don't be afraid to hit somebody up a couple of like I said.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not gonna take offense if like you hit me up with an email and then you hit me up with a follow up email and say, hey, did you get that last email? Because I haven't
Yeah.
heard from you. Or whatever.
Unless you're
We're
trying
gonna
to
be
sell me
offended by
something.
that.
If you're trying to sell me something, fuck off.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to sell
Take
me
us off
something,
for your call
again,
list.
even then, send me as much as you want because you're just going to go to the spam folder anyway. So again,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, like, dude, and I think that again, if you really want to get in contact with them, as the header, as the subject line, put your favorite sauce in there. Be like ranch.
I will
And I will-
definitely read that one.
And I will forward that to Ashley.
True. So where is your new location, and when are you opening up?
744 Chartiers Avenue.
No, it's 701.
I've been drinking.
Where's that's your house?
That's my
address.
house. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not.
I've been smoking.
We're gonna
Wait, no, that's
with
Warrington,
the
right?
magic of editing.
744 Warrington.
Oh yeah, it's here. Okay, yeah, you can
It's
show
not
up
the
here.
house address. I didn't say that. I'm gonna have a weirdo showing up on my front porch now.
Oh jeez, but it is
co-star.
701 Chartiers Avenue, McKees Rocks, PA 15136. If you type in Pittsburgh, PA, it will take you to a random house. You have to type in McKees Rocks because it's a borough.
Oh yeah.
So we're not in technically Pittsburgh, but we're only 15 minutes away from here.
Don't type in Pittsburgh. This is what motherfuckers don't understand. When you have an address, fuck Pittsburgh, fuck PA.
No, you type
just
in the
type
zip
in the
code.
zip code. That's it. Just the street address and the zip code will get you to where the fuck you want to
Exactly.
be.
And don't let Waze autocorrect. If you get
Yeah.
lazy and let Waze autocorrect, you're gonna go to the wrong place every time.
Yeah.
I do definitely foresee this being a problem with people coming to our new shop and be like, I'm at a house and now I'm just not going to come because I'm confused.
Yeah, nah.
It's right down the street from there too. So like you just have to keep going straight and you'd be like, oh, there's Black Forge, the only big bank building that says Black Forge Coffee House on it. But you know, we're pushing our hardest. We actually have a show booked there on November 20th, so we have to be open by then.
Well, shit, by the time this comes out,
And we're kind of just like in the position of just like, you know, we have to get the doors open. If the coffee shop aspect is not open, that's okay. We're gonna book our shows. We're gonna do
Rock
it,
the
and
fuck out.
we're just gonna go as we go. And you know, thanks for fucking supporting us.
Come
guys.
through, BYOC. Bring your own coffee.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
No, go to the Black Forge here in Allentown and then bring your coffee over there. If you say you ain't
But
got
we
the
still
coffee
need
opera.
people to pay for shit over
They're
there.
gonna- I'm talking about
said
if you don't have
it
the
open.
coffee.
No, yeah, if you don't have the coffee.
This
up
is
yet.
only
have the
the
coffee.
contingency is if the coffee's not available, then you have
There
to
you
go
go.
to the
Okay.
one
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
then
yeah.
bring
Yeah,
that
no,
coffee
you
over
shout
there,
that out.
Black Forge branded. You know what I mean? It's all right. I ain't trying to take no money out your pocket.
Yeah, you are.
No, not at all.
Tell me ranch ain't good here. Get out of my face.
Oh, so we still on that? We still on that? We got a dip off quick.
Yo.
We're already having a dip off. It's going online. We need people to go on
Yes.
the Drinking Partners Facebook
Yes.
and comment.
And they've already offered a 20% discount if you scream your favorite fucking sauce
in the barista's face.
at the barista's face.
any of our
All right.
baristas' face.
Honey mustard.
We're serious. We'll give you 20% off.
All right, they let the people know where they can find us.
Ranch. If you're looking for us, we are the Drinking Partners, and you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/Drinking Partners. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod.
Hey, we want to thank Nick and Ashley for coming through, holding it down with us. Had a great time with that. Fucking support Black Forge. It's just like supporting the city, supporting your community, man. I think that's the takeaway from here. Like, you guys invested into the community invests back into you. So kudos to everything you've done. We wish you much prosperity. I know you'll be fine because you're dope, and this motherfucker here closes deals. This dude,
Yes, he does.
That's a godfather right there, man.
Yeah,
Like,
he
you get
is.
you know what I mean? So, hey, as always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family, and we out.
Don't go anywhere. We got a photo.
He's going to bring the city. This motherfucker don't listen to nobody. You got it. You know, this coffee IPA, it's really good. I've only had coffee as
Buzzy, give me a napkin.
only out on this porch. I was like wondering like how this is going to play out.
Epicast.